Last season in 2023-2024, the New York Rangers ended up winning the President's Trophy, being the best team in the regular season in the entire NHL, in the Metropolitan Division as well as in the Eastern Conference and in all of the NHL. So in today's video, though, we're going to take a look at the Metropolitan Division for a bit here and kind of talk about whether or not I think the Rangers have what it takes and could possibly end up winning the Metropolitan Division, finishing at that top spot once again this upcoming season in 2024-2025 to try and get that home ice advantage, which is definitely very crucial. So starting off here, I do think that it's pretty much a three-team race, more than likely for this upcoming season. Now, it's hockey, it's the NHL, there's a lot of parity, so many great teams in pretty much every single division. A lot of different things can happen, but barring any crazy injuries, as of right now, looking on paper, looking at the rosters and kind of, projecting here, I would guess that it's more than likely going to be a three-team race for that top spot in the Metropolitan Division. My guess is going to be that the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes are going to finish in that top three somewhere alongside the New York Rangers. Now, it kind of depends there, where each of these teams finish here, but I do think the top three is going to be Carolina, Rangers, and New Jersey, some kind of combination of that. And as of right now, I do expect and project the Rangers to finish at that top spot in the division once again, like they did this past season. I think they are still the best team, and on paper right now, I think look like the best team as well. And one big factor on why I do think this Rangers team will once again finish at the top spot in the Metropolitan Division is the fact that the entire core group of players here on this Rangers team came back this upcoming season as well. None of them got moved away. None of them ended up obviously being free or anything like that, but none of them got traded away. They all remained on this team, which is a good sign there for the most part there. I think a lot of these guys, the core guys, are great players. Kreider, Zibanejad, Trocheck, Panarin, Lafreniere, Adam Fox. You kind of throw in guys like Braden Schneider, Cantor Miller a bit there if you want to. And in the net there, you obviously have a guy like Igor Shesterkin. So I think for the most part there, seeing that main core group of players there, those top caliber forwards, those top four caliber defensemen, and that elite number one caliber goaltender in Igor there, having all those guys back there, as well as this very good coaching staff, seems like a very good sign for this Rangers team. Now, yes, some of these guys have their moments when they're not playing great hockey, but that's with pretty much every single player. Even McDavid has his off nights there and has his off moments or weeks or months, whatever it is. Some guys, the level of kind of drop off is different, but these guys are still, for the most part, good players, especially in the regular season as well. And right now, we're not necessarily diving in too deep into the playoffs, kind of what they do there. In the regular season there, most of these guys get the job done and have performed quite well for the last long while. So I do think having that core group of players back who are all very talented is definitely a good thing for this team and definitely makes them a true, possible Stanley Cup contender. Now, the other good thing, though, is yes, some guys like Alex Wennberg, Jack Roslovic, they did leave in free agency, yes. And obviously a guy like Barclay Goodrow got waived and he got picked up. He's gone, and so are the other two guys there in Wennberg and Roslovic. That is true, but the Rangers found some great replacements. For example, a guy like Jack Roslovic leaving. That meant the Rangers went out there and traded for a guy like Riley Smith there, who was a phenomenal replacement there. Definitely a pretty big upgrade on Jack Roslovic, who was playing for the most part there alongside guys like Ryder and Zibanejad on that kind of, 1A, 1B line, one of the top six lines, or whatever you want to call it. I would consider that the second line there, but on paper it does seem to be kind of on that first line, so whatever. But you get my point there. In that top six there, Jack Roslovic was playing there on that right wing spot, and now a guy like Riley Smith there, who I think is a much better player, is taking that spot there, and I would say that's definitely a big upgrade. You also have a guy like Offman there who can provide some solid depth, whether it is in a kind of third line role, a second line role there to kind of take that spot of Roslovic there, knock down a guy like Riley Smith, or have Riley Smith there on that second line spot, and a guy like Offman on that third line. Either way, that works out quite perfectly and definitely is a great replacement for someone like Roslovic. You have a guy like, Alex Wennberg, who left there in free agency, but you have someone in Filipino who's coming back full time, it seems like, to take that spot on that third line of that center. So that is a great fit there, a great replacement. It definitely is, I would say, an upgrade over Wennberg with Hedel coming back into the lineup. And not to mention the other, pretty great and solid prospects, guys like Brett Berard, Osman, who I mentioned, Matt Rempe. You have guys like Adam Edstrom as well. So there are a few, prospects who are going to be fighting for spots here, competing at camp there on the defense side of things there. A guy like Matthew Robertson, he'll be battling for a spot there. Probably won't get one, but there are quite a few prospects, mainly on the forward side of things there, though, that can make an impact at some point, can play in those depth roles, but also possibly play on that top six kind of a role there on the forward side of things to really kind of help make an impact on this team. A lot of great depth, a lot of great overall talent on this roster, and that is why I do think this team will finish first once again. Yes, the Rangers lost some guys, but they really did a good job of replacing them. And guys like, Offner, I do think can make a pretty good impact on this team. So we'll have to wait and see, obviously, but he should be a pretty great player and a pretty great fit on this squad as well. And definitely brings some of the stuff that this team needs more of, which is that toughness, that grit, that physicality that Offman definitely brings to the lineup. And also, when Barclay Goodrow was waived by the Rangers, they were picked up by the Sharks, left this team, left a pretty big hole there on that fourth line center. We picked up a guy by the name of Sam Carrick who can provide some great kind of fourth line center play there, be that good, tough, gritty, physical, defensive kind of center there. Not going to do a lot offensively, but defensively and physically can definitely help out quite a bit there on that fourth line for this Rangers team. So I think in general there, the replacements and the guys who we brought in there to kind of take the spots off some of the players who left, I think we did a great job there. A lot of great prospects, a lot of great young guys who can get better and can develop as well. So if we see, development improvements from guys like Schneider, Keandre Miller, Zach Jones, Othman, you have so many of the guys there, Kakko, Cooley. There are a lot of guys here who are young on this team who can take steps forward in their development, in their game, and maybe we can see a more consistent and better season from a guy like Zibanejad and possibly Kreider. They can get back on form and get even better as well. This team could definitely go a long way this upcoming regular season and definitely could possibly win the Metro again, which I definitely think they're going to do. And I would say the two best teams and two biggest competitors for the Rangers to possibly win the Metro division are going to be the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, the big question mark is, have the Devils gotten a lot better? I would say they've gotten better, but by how much? That is the big question there. I'm not as big of a fan as a guy like Jacob Markstrom as some other people are. Some people think he's going to be, a top-tier goaltender, for example. I don't think he's quite that good. I think he's a solid goaltender and is an improvement on what they've had, but I'm not quite sure he's going to be, an elite top-tier goaltender for them. So we'll have to wait and see kind of what happens there. But they also definitely did upgrade their D-core, which was a big need for them. So upgrading their goaltending and defensive side of things there should be a massive help for a very talented offensive team like the New Jersey Devils there. They have a ton of great prospects and great talent on that team. I hate saying that, but they do. I'm going to be honest, though. They have a lot of great prospects, a lot of talent on the team, especially on the forward side of things there. But defensively, they need to upgrade there. They added in some solid talent on the back end. They added in a good goaltender in Jacob Markstrom. I think they should be a much better team, but by how much? That's kind of the question there. But I do think they're going to be good, but probably not good enough to take down the Rangers in the Metropolitan Division. And for the Carolina Hurricanes there, I do think that they have proven to be a very good regular season team and playoff team for the most part as well for a while now, but I'm not quite sure they have enough to truly take down the Rangers there in that Metropolitan Division. I think they're a good team. They're going to be a great team once again, but they definitely did lose some players there, so I'm not quite sure they're going to be as good as they were this past season, and that means they're probably not going to beat the Rangers there in the Metro, and that means more than likely the Rangers will finish at the top spot in the Metropolitan Division once again, beating out teams like the New Jersey Devils, the Carolina Hurricanes, Pittsburgh Penguins, Capitals, all those solid teams, and the Flyers as well. They could be a kind of dark horse team once again to kind of make a push there, but I'm not quite sure they have enough to get the job done and win the Metropolitan Division, unlike the Rangers, who I definitely do think will win the division this upcoming season once again in 2024-2025. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, definitely hit that like and subscribe button for a ton more New York Rangers content. And we will be getting back to daily videos as well once we get closer to this upcoming regular season there, as preseason is fastly approaching now. I'll be back with the daily videos very, very soon. So if you're a Rangers fan, definitely hit that like and subscribe button for daily New York Rangers content. And also, don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on who you think is going to win the Metropolitan Division this upcoming season, 2024-2025. Who's your first place, second, third? Let me know your thoughts on this division for this upcoming season. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you next one, and let's go Rangers.